Geek Tank Radio on 98.1 The Max.
Welcome, Do that again.
No, we got to keep it in.
Welcome,
We're
everyone. We are the Geek Patrol, and our microphones don't have a stun setting. I'm Joe Thorderson here with my buddy Brandon Olmstead and our pal Max over there behind the glass, and I need a glass of water, man.
Oh, dude.
You never know when you first turn on the mic, you don't know.
His throat has a stun setting.
It's weird weather. Everything's weird here in the Mid-South. But, Brandon, you know what is not weird? Well, I don't know if it's weird or not.
Everything's weird. So.
Okay, well, hey.
Or I can make it weird.
The summer block. Well, I don't know if it's a summer blockbuster, but summer movie theater culture is back. Is it? For you it is.
For me it is. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get a whole lot of people back into the theater with what I'm fixing to go into, but yeah, for me it is. And it all kicked off with a little lesser-known movie. People might have heard of it. It's part of this weird franchise called Star Wars. The Mandalorian and Grogu.
You actually went and saw that.
Oh, dude,
you paid money to go see that.
I paid money to see that. Well, I mean,
I'll give you credit.
If it was a season on Disney Plus, I would have paid money for that too. I mean, I've got to pay the subscription. The mouse owns my soul.
Okay, they don't own my soul anymore because I loved the first two seasons. The third one was an abomination, and they lost me. But
you and your abominations, we might need to have an intervention because everything you think is an abomination is really just, I was bored with this episode. You're a little over dramatic here, sir.
But how does Mandalorian and Grogu get you excited about going to movies again?
It wasn't so much. All right, the movie's fun.
I mean, it's getting ripped by critics, but I guess who cares?
No, that's the problem. It's not getting ripped by critics. It's getting ripped by jerks on YouTube who wouldn't know a good movie if it bit them on the left cheek.
Okay.
The 90% of people are like, oh man, I can't. It's like if it was on the Disney Plus show, they would have said the same thing.
Yeah.
These are people who, even if they love something, are going to go on record as hating it because that gets them clicks.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You know me and the YouTube people, we're not going to get along, and I will fight them tooth and nail because you know what? I've touched grass. I know how to swing a punch.
Okay.
Anywho.
Yeah.
No, it was a lot of fun, but we had an experience that I haven't had since. Like, Endgame.
What?
Like, there was a bunch of people in here for this showing, and there were kids, there were adults, there was a little old lady who ended up in the seat between me and two other nerds, and she was like, she tells me, she's like, yeah, I came to get my tickets for tomorrow, and I saw that there was this showing, so I'm here for this. It's like awesome.
Okay.
We're in the IMAX 3D showing at the Paradiso. And we had an absolute blast. The energy in that theater from the people who were there to see the movie was phenomenal.
So it's less about the content and the quality of the film and more about the audience participation.
Part of it, yeah.
Well, we've talked about this in the past where like the theater experience was drying up and going away, partly because people hated the way audience members acted, but you're saying in the right context, it is fun. It adds to the whole experience.
I'm going to say that this is how Star Wars is supposed to be viewed. It is supposed to be viewed communally.
Okay. The communal viewing experience.
Which might be why so many of the Star Wars series, while I've enjoyed them, have really kind of felt flat to me because I'm watching them at home by myself. Amy might come in and see an episode of Ahsoka or something like that.
The truth is, if you were watching the scene, huh?
Dry throat is contagious.
Oh, I know. If you were watching the, I can't remember if it's season 2, the finale, the last episode of The Mandalorian, when Luke Skywalker shows up, that the theater would have been going insane.
Oh, they would have lost
during that. Yeah, the slaughter scene of the droids.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah,
and instead you saw it at home, and you're like, oh, cool. But it would have been awesome, cool to share that moment with somebody.
And there is just something to be said for the fact that, again, multi-generational, because there was a woman who came in and she had like 8 or 9 kids with her. And these kids, they were rambunctious in the beginning. They were just excited to be at a theater. And then when the movie started, they kind of they got into it. And, you got a lot of whoas, oh, cool. But nothing that was taking you out of the movie because, again, you're watching a Star Wars movie. I don't need plot lines. I don't need some... It's like, look, I know we all love Andor.
Yeah.
Andor is not fun. Andor,
it's
especially with
deep and thought provoking and intense,
right? Yeah. And especially with the way our country is right now, Andor is a little too close to reality.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't want to take anything away because I loved Andor.
Yeah.
But Andor is not fun. This was fun. And I think that is one of the things that I've noticed is going to be running roughshod through my movie experience this summer.
Because you got a list now. You're ready to go. So
I kind of like the idea of going back to the theaters too, because the one thing that kind of created the communal atmosphere from home, the comfort of home, was when you can only watch an episode of a particular thing at a particular time with the rest of the nation. Like when everyone was watching the TV when Dallas ended, like Who Shot JR and stuff like that. So I like the idea of maybe if we do continue things on TV, making that thing where, all right, you have to watch it at this time or else you don't get to see it again at all. And so I like the idea of like your summer blockbuster experience. Well, because while, yes, it's in theaters for a particular duration and everything, you lose that particular mix and chemistry of the audience with the screen itself.
Yeah, for me, Brandon, the last communal experience that really meant a lot to me was seeing Black Panther live because we were there opening night, and we remember it was jam-packed. People, we had churches that were bussing their people in, and there was an energy that you could not have gotten at home.
No, and again, it was a very communal experience, but it was a cultural experience across the board, too.
Yeah.
Because we had people who were, like, always lined up for the Marvel movies, but this one kind of hit different, and anybody who saw Black Panther and we live in Memphis.
Yeah.
And one thing is that Memphis will come out and show out when we need to.
Yeah.
And we did for Black Panther, and it was so fun. And it was amazing.
And it was a good movie with a good message. It was well done, and and you would not have gotten that if that was a straight to video movie. Going to the theater is important, and I'm going back too. I've got a few on my list, but Brandon, I'm going to be interested to hear your list.
My list is getting bigger, and I'm going to have to let everybody know that technically we're a week ahead.
You're listening to Geek Tank Radio on 98.1 The Max. The Muppets hate these guys. The Geek Patrol is back.
See, this is why I'm cutting those out of the show, because now it's going to take 20 minutes before I get Joe back on.
And welcome back to Geek Tank Radio, everybody. I'm Joe Thorderson here with my buddy Brandon Olmstead and our pal Max over there behind the glass. And, summer is here, and the movie theaters we're hoping are going to be jam-packed this summer. I
don't want them all to be jam-packed.
There's a few movies that we're all going to go see, and there's some that Brandon's got his eye on.
I have a feeling my list is a lot larger than your list.
Probably, yeah. Although I like going to the movie theater. I'm not a curmudgeon about it. There just hasn't been as many that I wanted to see recently. So.
We've also had some rather unenjoyable theater experiences in the past year or two.
Yeah.
But we can't blame the movies themselves for that.
I'm amazed, though, that you said Mandalorian and Grogu kicked off. That's what sparked your enthusiasm for the summer.
Well,
the summer viewing experience.
Again, I will say that we could go back a little bit farther, but yeah, this is the one that's got me like just hyped, because I'll be honest, I was looking for, it's like I want to see this in theaters, but man, I don't want to go to the theater.
Okay.
But now I'm kind of excited now, and I am going to give people a little peek behind the curtain. We recorded this episode a few days ago, so I haven't seen it yet, but the next one on my list is Masters of the Universe. And
you said your wife wants to go to this.
I think Amy showed interest in seeing this one, and I'm going to try and convince her to go with me.
He-Man. Yeah, but you grew up with it. By the time He-Man came along, I was a little too old for it, so I just thought it was goofy, but,
My only motivation for He-Man is just, are they going to make them into Lego form? I only care about if they make a minifigure Skeletor.
Okay.
Okay, I completely understand, wanting a minifigure for Skeletor. But you know what proves that this movie is going to be awesome?
What's that?
The people who made it have they've kept Jared Leto from promoting it, even though he's playing Skeletor, he's voicing Skeletor, and he was apparently complaining about the fact that they won't let him promote. And it's like, that's because they want people to go see it.
Well, okay, I don't get this about Jared Leto because if you look at Skeletor, you don't see one trace of Jared Leto under that makeup. So why did they bring him in?
Well, they brought him in to do the voice.
Yeah, but his voice doesn't sound like Jared Leto.
No, he does.
So what is is this like a little game here? Like just
for a little while there, people forgot that he's kind of a scumbag, and they were like, hey, we're going to put Jared Leto in a bunch of movies. And they saw Tron fail, and Morbius is just bad, and it failed. And they're like, we don't want you out promoting this. We don't want to draw attention to the fact that you're Skeletor.
Okay.
You know who should have done the voice of Skeletor? Billy Eichner.
Who's that?
All right. Do you remember Craig from Parks and Rec?
Yeah.
The overly enthusiastic. Yeah.
So
that's
Psycho.
That's him?
That's Billy Eichner. And Billy Eichner, he can do a Skeletor voice.
Really?
like classic Skeletor voice.
Right. It's like.
I'm trying to picture him be a Skeletor, but that's pretty good.
Well,
yeah.
But I mean, I love Billy Eichner anyway, so it's like,
Yeah.
get him for the sequel, guys.
My question is, Brandon, are they going to have She-Ra in this? Like, do a little
No.
cameo?
They have already said that they have plans for She-Ra should they get a sequel.
Okay, because
So,
my motive, I just really enjoyed the animated version of She-Ra and everything. If they
Right.
can capture bottle that same energy into a live action version, I'm all for it.
Well,
Well,
it looks like a fun movie, and it looks like the production is there.
oh yeah, and
And the guy playing He-Man is probably a better actor than Dolph Lundgren was.
right, but
no offense, Dolph.
No,
but
but Dolph Lundgren has got a good sense of humor because he's actually been out there promoting it alongside the kid who's playing. I think his name's Nicholas Galitzine.
Yeah.
I can't pronounce his last name right, and I apologize. But yeah, they've been doing a lot of promotion together, and it's been great. But it's just, again, there's a lot of stuff coming to theaters that it's got my attention. And the next one on my list to see in theaters is Disclosure Day.
Okay, this one looks interesting. Do you think this could be Steven Spielberg's final movie?
It might be. It might be
how he'll retire?
Yes.
It looks like a full circle movie for him.
It really does. And, the way he talks about it in the trailer and, about what he wanted to convey, it really does feel like this could be at least his alien opus.
Right.
Because what it made me think of is it sort of shows that this is the final curtain call for Spielberg, because you don't really see a lot of trailers that include commentary by the director in it. In fact, I would say that's probably the first time I've ever seen a trailer where the director is commenting on his own work.
Right, and it says directed by. It doesn't say
Steven
executive
Spielberg.
producer or
Right,
anything.
right.
So he's I'm sure he probably wrote a lot of this.
Oh, it just and it does feel like he has put his heart and soul into this movie.
Yeah,
And
and when he focuses on something, the guy is a master storyteller.
And what I like about it, too, is it seems like it's sort of a love letter to the things that came before, which I appreciate because I like I see elements of Contact in it, because I like how Contact was aliens, but they presented themselves in a way that was palpable to humans.
Yeah.
Right.
I think it's got a lot of themes that I saw a little E.T. in there in terms of a kid and I don't know. It looks good though. I think I think that one will be a legitimate blockbuster though.
But I think you hit it. It does. It feels like a grown-up E.T.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that one for sure. So that's June 12th.
Right. And I think one of the
And
things
you can buy tickets now.
Yeah, I think one of the things that really gets me for Disclosure Day is the elk. The elk.
Yeah,
and
I'm
the girl's
trying to
bedroom.
figure out what
All
that
right,
is.
so-
Is that how
so
the alien?
Yes.
You think that's how they disguise
there is
themselves?
a little bit of alien lore in abductions and stuff like that that revolve around elk.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's
Really?
David Paulides hits on it a little bit with some of his missing 411 stuff, and yeah, there are hunters who have told stories that of encountering an elk that they fired at, and then they lose time. The elk just kind of stands there. They don't hit it, even though they should have.
Really?
They'll find their bullets later on, and it's like they hit a brick wall. And, yeah.
Now,
all of a
that's
sudden-
interesting.
yeah.
I didn't know any of that.
Yeah, I mean, I only learned about the elk thing a couple of years ago, and it's really weird. It's a different take on any of it, and
Huh.
so to see the elk in the little girl's bedroom,
Yeah.
I was just like, Okay, we're getting hardcore into this.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, the summer is lining up to be pretty good, and we're going to continue to talk about it when we come back here on Geek Tank Radio.
You're listening to Geek Tank Radio on 98.1 The Max. Count Olaf is a jerk. The Geek Patrol is back.
And welcome back to Geek Tank Radio, everybody. I'm Joe Dorderson here with my buddy Brandon Olmstead and our pal Max over there behind the glass. And we're just going through, summer is here. And for a while, we haven't been too excited about summer, the summer theater experience. But I think it's back. Brandon he's had a great experience so far with The Mandalorian and Grogu. And you've got a pretty good list here. We just talked about Disclosure Day coming out June 12th. Well, yeah, Brandon, now you're going to take us.
We're going to pivot as far as the mood. Now, this is not going to be an opening day. It may not even be an opening weekend. This may just be a lazy matinee.
Okay.
And that's going to be The Death of Robin Hood with Hugh Jackman.
There is nothing. I'm not seeing that movie. That's too violent for me. But
I get that.
It's not going to be a laugh riot. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, there was a moment when I saw the first trailer. All I thought to myself is like, okay, so we're going to do Logan, but he's going to be wearing an archer's skin. But the more the more I'm feeling it, it's like I kind of like this idea of him at the end of his life, gravely injured, and like the thing, he starts to. I still think it's just a big, pre-death hallucination where he has to come to terms with who he's been all this time.
Oh, that's what you think?
Yeah, okay. I don't think that a lot of the stuff that we're seeing in there. I think it's happening in his head, whether it be memories.
Oh, no, I could go for that.
Whether it be memories or
like the Joker
or Archive. Yeah. Archive is a perfect example, except it's digital.
Don't give
as
spoilers,
opposed to
but
it. Yeah.
Yeah, Archive's a great movie, but now you're making now when you say that, the first thing I think of is the Joker movie.
Yeah,
because we don't know that half of that stuff even happened.
Right.
But it sure looks violent and depressing, man.
It's an A24 film. It's gonna be violent.
My thing, though, that I appreciated about it is kind of the same reason I appreciated the new German version of All Quiet on the Western Front. It presented World War I in all of its gory glory because you actually got to see what it would have been like for a German soldier, like in the trenches and everything. It would have been gross. It would have been smelly. It would have been violent and everything, but not so violent that it took me away and nauseated me. What I like about this is that it shows me a good slice of what medieval times would have been like, kind of like how Vinland Saga kind of took away the sterile takes on medieval times and everything. It's like, no, it was pretty disgusting back then.
Yeah, it looks smelly. Like this looks like everybody here would have BO, and it just looks dirty and whatever. But Vinland Saga is a great one, folks. If you want to see the true street level version of what Viking life would have been like back in the day. But all right, well, Brandon, you guys have fun with this one. I think I'll be skipping that. But although if it's thought provoking like that, I like your hallucination idea. I never even thought of that.
Well, I mean,
that's interesting.
They always say it's like your life passes before your eyes. And then people who've had near-death experience say, I saw this.
Right.
And, it's like, well, it's kind of like we're getting that with Robin Hood.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that might work then. And it's an A24 movie, and they're capable of making
really good
pretty
movies.
Thought-provoking
but
movies.
They can also, on a dime give you a real, just depressing movie.
Yeah.
So
okay.
if you have bouts of depression, I don't know if this is the one you need to see.
No.
But the next week we've got one that it's tracking soft, but I don't care. I'm excited. I'm going to see Supergirl. I'm definitely seeing that in theaters.
We talked about that.
I keep
What's
hearing,
the date? Because I'm writing
that's June 26th.
Okay.
I keep hearing from people, it looks like Guardians of the Galaxy. Oh, it's just a James Gunn movie. You know what? Didn't you have fun with those movies? Well, yeah. Then shut up.
I'm not the biggest James Gunn fan, but it doesn't mean I hate all his stuff. So,
I'm not going into Supergirl looking again for a classic masterpiece. I'm going in there. I'm wanting to see Crypto. I'm wanting to see her get like just full on wild, beating up people in that bar. I'm wanting to see Lobo do just Lobo things.
Yeah, I'm curious what that's going to look like.
As with every superhero movie, we have that moment where they finally accept their arc and where they need to go with it. And I want to see what that, that trigger is for her.
Well, and we've said it many times here on Geek Tank Radio that if you don't know anything about Supergirl, she's a very compelling character, and if handled right, there's some pretty awesome themes that you can develop here in her story.
I do kind of like how they've always recently done her where, because she witnessed the destruction. She is jettisoned away. She is old enough to see what is happening.
Think of that. What if you saw the planet Earth being destroyed? Okay, that's not a small thing.
And your only mission that you have been given is that we are sending you away. You will land in the same place as your cousin. You need to protect him while he grows up. And then you get to the place, and he's grown up, and your mission is basically, what do you do? It's like,
now what?
I mean, we all have those moments where we're like questioning, why am I here? What am I good for? What do I need to do? Now imagine you actually had a mission that you, because of getting stuck in the Phantom Zone or whatever, you didn't get to complete. Everything that you have been prepared for is null and void.
Here, and the other psychological layer there, Brandon, is we've seen, like in that movie Interstellar, we saw what happened when people age at different rates, like Matthew McConaughey sees his own daughter as an old lady and stuff. Well, there's psychological, Supergirl probably always thinks of Clark as her younger little cousin.
Yeah, we're not prepared for that kind of emotional damage.
Right. So I think if done well, I hope James Gunn doesn't just gloss over those things.
Well, that's the thing,
those are good.
Everybody needs to take James Gunn's name out your mouth when it comes to Supergirl, because that's Craig Gillespie.
Okay.
James Gunn just said, "All right, we're doing a Supergirl movie. Here, y'all go do it."
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
And
that might be a palate cleanser after the death of Robin Hood.
Death of Robin Hood.
Yeah.
Well, and then we go completely ludicrous at the beginning of July. And I know a lot of people are like going to look at me and go, "Wait, you're going to do what?" I'm going to see Minions and Monsters right off the bat.
Wait, what's that?
All right, so the little Illumination Minion guys? Well,
they how many movies have they had?
A lot. But they accidentally, it looks like they summon Cthulhu, but he's this itty-bitty thing.
Okay.
And they go looking for monsters, and it's going to be a fight between the Minions and actual monsters. So,
Brandon, I've never actually seen any of those movies. Maybe, and the Minions are everywhere. I mean, you can see them all over the place. Maybe when we come back, you can convince me of why I need to see this.
You're listening to Geek Tank Radio on 98.1 The Max. The Geek Patrol is back.
I like being bad. It makes me happy.
And welcome back to Geek Tank Radio, everybody. I'm Joe Thorderson here with my buddy Brandon Olmstead and our pal Max over there behind the glass. And we're just in the middle of outlining the summer theater season, you could say. And it's, I don't know, maybe we've turned a corner. Maybe Hollywood has learned a few lessons. Whatever it is, we're going to be at the theater this year for the first time in a few years.
Right. And
with
we're looking
enthusiasm.
forward to it.
Yeah, I know. There's several on this list that I'm actually looking forward to as well.
Like,
so
we've had those things. It's like, well, I feel like I have to see this for the show.
yeah, how many times have we gone to a movie out of duty for Geek Tank? But I don't do that anymore.
No,
if
me
I'm not
neither.
enthusiastic about it, I won't see it.
Yeah.
Although, Brandon, you're still going to have to sell Joe on
The Minions.
Oh yeah, so the Minions, I'm becoming more open to things like that. If they're like the Fast and Furious, I want to get into those. And
he saw K-pop Demon Hunters, so I think he's having more of an open mind these days. Brandon.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Great
that's
movie.
phenomenal.
Yeah. So
Well,
what's
Joe,
the hook though? I guess I don't want to eat up the whole show, but I'm just wondering.
I'm gonna do it like this. The Minions level of humor is very close to your level of humor.
Okay, so it's like juvenile and
A lot of juvenile,
a lot of
and
body
so, like stupid, and it's like,
sounds
oh my
and stuff.
god.
Okay.
Yeah.
They even look like Joe a little bit.
All right, I could
A
do
little
that.
bit, yeah.
All right, fine. All
But
right.
but honestly, as much as Minions and Monsters is great. That'll be July 1st.
Right.
But that Friday, July 3rd, right before your favorite holiday of the year,
Yeah.
is Young Washington.
Okay, now
So
I don't know why. Okay, go ahead.
So of course, the story there is like we're seeing him as a young soldier, and it's like he basically him becoming who he's gonna be.
Okay.
A lot of people don't know, but in my own little research of George Washington, kid had trauma, and there's plenty of instances where he should have died but didn't.
Right.
Like, for example,
Oh,
he was
yeah.
like when he was like 22, he got trapped in ice, and his expedition buddy literally had to fish him out of ice, and they had to walk. It's like learning about the true story behind the Revenant.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh yeah. I don't know. With those, it's always I don't know. It's such a big story. I don't know how you tell it all, and it's always somebody's perspective, and it seems impossible not to include your own politics in a story like that. And the funny thing about George Washington is he warned against political parties. He warned against what we're living through today.
Right.
If we would have just listened to the guy. But anyway, so all right, that's cool. So you're going to go see Young Washington.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, Ben Kingsley, Andy Serkis, Kelsey Grammer, Mary Louise Parker. The cast is phenomenal. And, it's
it's an interesting period
here's
of
the
his
thing.
life.
If I can sit through the Patriots 4.5 hours, I can go see Young Washington.
Okay. All right, cool. That sounds good.
Yeah.
You're going to be at the theater a lot, man.
Oh, well,
Holy
and
smoke.
here's
Every
the thing.
week there's something.
And a week later after that, Moana's live action comes out, and I'm going to totally be at the theater, but I'm going to be watching Evil Dead Burn because I am not going to see Moana in live action in theaters. I am very much. I will not see a live action Disney remake until it's on Disney Plus.
Well, and plus, aren't those remakes usually just lesser versions of the animated
Yes,
original? So
yes.
who cares? Yeah.
Nothing against anybody who portrays those characters. They all have done phenomenal jobs. But come on, the Lion King
something
live
new.
action was nightmare fuel because real animals' mouths don't move like that. It's just creepy looking.
Yeah.
And I say that because while I'm going to see Evil Dead Burn, which is all about deadites and creepy things.
Yeah.
A week later, on July 17th, I will not be in the theater for this because I no longer look forward to Christopher Nolan films. But we got the Odyssey, and it's going to be just.
Isn't that something? I couldn't care less about that movie.
I will watch it once it's on a streaming platform, but I just can't get excited about a Nolan film anymore.
The tone looks off on this movie to me.
My question is how it's a compelling story that's literally stood the test of time, but for a man who's all about practical effects and no CGI, you're kind of painting yourself into a corner where you need CGI in order to convey a Cyclops,
Well, and plus
a siren.
Yeah, but a lot of them, I don't know. I'm sorry, when you're talking about classic literature, the go-to language for me is British or some sort of, American accents don't really work.
Well,
and these guys are like, they're all using American accents.
Or why not use Greek accents?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
something. But the tone just looks very I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not doing
I got
it for
burned
me,
at
that
Tenet.
trailer. Yeah.
And ever since then, it's like, okay, yeah, Christopher Nolan's making a movie. Okay, it's going to be a blockbuster. Okay, everybody's going to go see it. That's great.
I'm not
I
convinced
just can't
this
get
one's going to
excited
be.
about him anymore.
Yeah.
And people are like going, what? I've been saying that lately, and people are like, well, what about Oppenheimer? I didn't see Oppenheimer. I know the story.
And it's not a laugh
I
riot.
researched all that stuff when I was in, I took modern history when I was in school.
Yeah.
It's like,
The last one that I really loved was the Prestige. I can rewatch that one. That one.
You mean
holds up for me.
Interstellar? Because Interstellar came after Prestige.
Interstellar's good too. No, I'm just
Or
saying.
Inception.
But
He's
no,
got movies that they hold up for me, but not all.
I've
of them.
heard you talk about how much you love the Prestige, and it is one of the ones that you can rewatch.
Yeah. There's more, Brandon.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Coming up
Before
at the end of the July, we got Spider-Man: Brand New Day.
That's the one I think is going to be cap it off in a nice way because that looks like they're going back to the themes that made Spider-Man work.
They said that this movie, unlike the Spider-Man trilogy we had beforehand, which was high and hard on Stark Tech.
Yeah.
This is going to be more Spider-Man, the grounded Spider-Man that we know and love from the comics and from Sam Raimi and everything else.
Yeah. It looks good. It looks like they're tapping into the right themes, too, that make you connect with Peter Parker.
Because he literally told Frank Castle, go home, as if he's just like, all right, this is just your annoying neighbor that you have to restrain because, he's like driving an armored car and trying to kill people.
Yeah, go back to your neighborhood or whatever.
But he talked to him like the old man who refuses to pick up his dog poop when he's on a walk.
All right. Brandon, that's a long list, man.
And the list isn't over yet because, I still got the end of Oak Street, and I've got Dog Stars, and I got Super Trooper 3. All of those are hitting in August, and it's like, I think out of those movies, the one I'm looking forward to the most is The End of Oak Street because, come on, it's time traveling dinosaurs.
I hadn't heard of that one. Okay, man, I think we're gonna need a part 2 of this thing. We don't have any time, but folks, let's see. Maybe the summer theater experience is back. Either way, we'll be there. But guys, the show's over. We gotta go. So until next week, we are the Geek Patrol, and I am Joe Thorderson.
I'm Maximilian.
And I am Brandon Olmstead, promising you a part 2, but closer when we get to August.
Okay.